live from downtown Kansas City, where the Chiefs are trying to not start 0-2 for the first time in the era of Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady is still with us, and Tom, let's talk about that. I mean, considering the way Philly dominated them in the Super Bowl, do you have a feeling that this game is maybe a little bit more important, not only to not go 0-2, but not lose to Philly again for the Chiefs?
Certainly, I think that the Chiefs is a big statement game for them. Less so than last year's game, which for the fans, I know it feels like it's a Super Bowl rematch, but I think the Chiefs need to just get back on track this season. They're 0-1, their first home game of the year. They got a quality opponent. They got to find a way to pull this one out. It's a challenging game with the defending champs in town. It's going to be a great one.
Tom, by the way, incredible pass. You just threw it to me a couple minutes ago. You still got it. I'm waiting for the day that your arm kind of falls off so I can finally say you can't zing it anymore. But with that being said, A.J. Brown had his worst statistical career game with the Eagles. 1 catch, 8 yards, only 1 target. Do you force feed him this game?
Well, just start with feeding them, less than force feeding them. It's important always to get your best player involved, certainly passing him early. I wouldn't be surprised if he touches it within the first couple plays of the game. And I do know one thing about forcing a receiver a ball with a hefty incentive at one point. My guy had to get you 1 catch for $1 million, and he found a way.
And I still appreciate it to this day. Dinner on me tonight.
Okay, I love that.
I got to tell you, and that was a beautiful 1-yard throw. I want to add.
Whatever it takes.
Sure was. A diagonal.
I had a lot of 1-yard throws,
Hey,
DB.
Tom, you and I both know what it's like to play or have players that are on our team that are going against former teams. Last week, we saw Aaron Rodgers go against the Jets and play the lights out with 4 touchdowns. DK Metcalf came over from Seattle. Do you think, as a quarterback, I think similar to what Gronk just had, but is there some kind of incentive where you think he would once again try to push it to prove a point? You let me go, here I am.
Oh, yeah. Even look how Aaron responded against Pittsburgh or against Jets last week. He had something to prove out there, and now he's got a receiver that's got something to prove. So you play these teams that you've been a part of, and you know all the other coaches, players, and you got a point you want to prove when you get out there. I had that feeling when I went to Tampa and went up to New England for one game. I said, okay, this is my moment. And let me show them what they're going to miss.
And Rodgers has Green Bay coming up on the schedule.
Well, that's another one.
Oh, I know.
Tom, you've been around the Niners a lot. You know, Brock Purdy down, and in comes a guy you know a lot about, Mac Jones. How different will the Niners look with him at the helm?
Probably not much different. And I don't know if that's good or bad for the Niners, the way they've had this offense going up and down for a while. But Mac is more of a pocket passer. Obviously, Brock Purdy with the turf toe, that's what you get from running all the time.
Yeah.
Kyle's going to do a great job. He'll figure out a way to make that offense look like the Niners offense. They still have all those weapons out there. And they're going to need some of these other guys to take some of the load off Mac as well.
And we also got the Lions and the Bears. Oh, my. Yeah, we still got that. I had to do it.
Go ahead.
Ben Johnson, former coordinator for the Detroit Lions, now head coach of the Chicago Bears. Have you ever faced a former coordinator? And how do you think Ben Johnson's going to do against his old team?
Man, 23 years in the NFL, I think I faced everybody at some point. There were a lot of guys and coordinators that left the Patriots, came back to coordinate against me, and I think that was a great challenge because they knew that I knew that they knew that I knew that I was going to do something. It gets confusing at that point. So in the end, you just got to go out and play good football, execute, go with your rules, but there's obviously a lot more on the line.